Hi there, my name's Adam and I represent Carna Bio, and I'm here to talk you through this poster of a collaboration between Carna Bio and Cartera. Carna Bio are a kinase-focused production service company, and they've had 20 years of experience. They're based in Japan. And Cartera, as you know, also have about 20 years of experience and are world leaders in high-throughput SPR. And this is what I'm going to be talking about today, the nice combination and synergy that we have between Carna's biotinylated kinases and Cartera's LSA-XT instrument. Um, so biotinylated kinases by Carna are perfect for using on instruments such as the LSA-XT for SPR experiments because they're singly biotinylated, mostly on the N terminus, a few on the C terminus, and this allows a homogeneous presentation across the sensor surface, so that when you flow compounds across them, you'll see only first order kinetics due to that single interaction one hopes with your protein. And the biotinylation helps to stabilize. It's such a tight interaction. It stabilizes the kinase to the chip surface so that for our 3-day screen that I'll tell you about in a second, the kinase was locked down and we never lost any, which is very important. So this is the interaction of biotin and the streptavidin surface. And over here is just a bit about the flow of the screen. We used a kinase inhibitor set from Topris, which contains a wide variety of kinase inhibitors, specific and promiscuous. We had a selection of around 100 biotinylated kinases from Carna. And of course, we used the fantastic LSA-XT to monitor real-time interactions for all those kinases across the chip as the compounds were flowed across them. In fact, in the first screen, which after only a couple of days of assay development, this first screen lasted an entire 3 days after pressing the button go, we got 80,000 data points, interaction points between those kinases, those 100 kinases, and those 200 compounds, inhibitor compounds. And from that first screen, you can even start to see kinetics just from those single concentrations, that single point screen across all those kinases. So it's super easy and super quick. And actually, if we then sort of zoom out a bit as well, this is all the data from that screen that was generated in just 3 days on the same surface of kinases with those compounds flowing across at single concentration. And you can see individual compounds all piled up with the sensor grounds from all the kinases. You can see specificity of some, and you can see promiscuity of others, and you can also see a beautiful quality control positive marker, which always comes back as the same level on that surface, telling you that the kinases have lasted 3 days, and they're as good as they are at the end of those 3 days as they were at the beginning. Very important for a screen to maintain that quality of surface. So this is a slight zoom in on that screen. And as I said here, we have a specific hit on the EGF receptor, which was a known compound. So that's confirming our screen, the data quality within that screen. And we have a few others which are a bit more promiscuous, but even just checking those details and that data correlating to known data, it makes sense. So you can get first glance kinetics, you can identify specificity, all so easy to do on the screen. Now, within the software for this machine is incredibly flexible and incredibly easy and really empowering the software, I must admit. And then you can look at this in a different way. This is looking per compound with all the kinases in one slot. You can look at per kinase in a different screen, which helps you understand sort of the interactions between the kinases themselves. Each of these represents a different kinase, and all the interactions of all the compounds piled on top of each other. And you can start to see the different interactions between those compounds and the kinases just in that one panel. Again, really great to start to understand the compound set that we have. After screening, one will go to follow-up, and this panel over here represents the follow-up, which is a dose response of various compounds. We have picked a handful of compounds to follow up with in a dose response titration. And we have, as you see here, you may be able to see different levels of response. This is per kinase again. And so you can see the different kinetics. And this is all fantastic and so easy to scan through and fit as well. The software does a great job of fitting and giving accurate data, and it will actually blank out fits which don't work correctly. So that helps you screen through yourself on those validated hits and validated follow-up experiments. But just to really correlate and show you how good the data quality is, if we take the KD values of sunitinib or sutent the drug suited, and plot those on the kinome, which is here, the kinome tree. So these KD values are calculated from dose responses, so they're very accurate. We plot those on the kinome tree, and then Carna has internal IC50 data, so enzyme activity data, which we also plot on the same kinome tree. We see that we have almost identical overlap. So this tells us the validity of these KDs after just a couple of weeks of work and assay development. It really correlates perfectly with the IC50s generated in Carna in-house. And why do we want to look at this sort of kinetic data in SPR data as opposed to just IC50 data? SPR gives us kinetics. And with kinetics, you can understand how much of your compound will bind, how slowly it will come off. And ultimately, to have high efficacy in the clinic, you need to have a compound and which will bind to its target and stay on there for as long as possible so you can have as maximum effect as possible. And that's what kinetics will gives you over something like a simple IC50. And that's a summary of the poster. Thank you.